Hello, hello. The fabulous Ashleigh Smith is joining us here on her Empire Builder show today. For me, this is a bit of a full circle moment for us, Ash, because Ashleigh and I went to uni together when we were just teenagers. At Sydney Uni, we studied primary school teaching together and then obviously have gone on different paths, but I mean, I think still us as course creators, like we're still teachers every day.
For sure.
Yeah. Welcome, Ash.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here. We've come all the way back around together, which is amazing.
I know, it's so good, isn't it? Like, do you think, I know I didn't at the start, but did you have like even the tiniest inkling when you were at uni that you wouldn't be a teacher forever?
No, I thought I would be until I became a teacher, like out in the world.
For me, it only took the 9-week prac. I was like 9 weeks. I'm like, whoa, this is not for me.
And I remember thinking, so Tina and I used to carpool into uni together. So there was 4 of us and we'd always carpool, and Tina had the fanciest car. So she would do most of the driving. And I
love the way you're saying like Tina had the fanciest car. Like it was in those days because we were very, like my kids are driving now and they actually have decent cars, like all their friends. It's not like when we drove and people were driving barely road legal bomb cars. Yeah. And mine was not that. Mine was like a $4,000 old Holden Barina. So when you say like Tina had I don't want people thinking like I was flashy.
No.
It just didn't have like bits of the car falling off.
We weren't driving in a BMW to uni. Definitely not. But yeah, it did. It had upholstery with no holes in it.
Yeah.
It smelled nice.
Yeah. It was a good car. Yeah, I did love that car, Dixie.
She names her cars.
Yeah. So but yes, we would drive there.
We would drive there. And I remember that you said that you weren't going to go into teaching like when we were close to the end. I thought, gosh, it's crazy. Like, I can't wait to get out into the classroom. And I really did enjoy my time as a teacher, don't get me wrong at all. But once I got into leadership, that's something that I really wanted to do. And I was like, okay, great. Now I can make a real change in this space. And I just realized that when you're in a really big system, you can't make changes to somebody higher telling you what to do. And
there's always someone higher.
There's always someone higher. And I was like, no, I want to be that higher one. So, and that's where we've kind of ended up. We've ended up being sort of thought leaders in our industry and being able to make change in areas that we think are really important, which is amazing.
Was there something in particular that was like the nudge for you in going, you know what, I don't want to be classroom teaching, let's look at other opportunities? Did you have the idea to do what you're doing now before you left teaching, or did you leave teaching and then go, okay, now what?
Before I left teaching. So it was kind of an accident. It was a happy accident how it all happened. So I've got a business partner. Her name is Alicia. She lives over in Perth and I'm in Sydney. But we actually met when we were teaching in an international school in Dubai. And I came home. She ended up coming back and living in Sydney. She knew one person in Sydney besides her boyfriend, and that was me. And I was pregnant with my first child. She also had a back injury, so she couldn't really be doing a lot of casual teaching. So she decided she was going to start drawing on her iPad. And she said, you know, you can draw pictures on your iPad and sell it online. And I'm thinking, what are you even talking about? Anyway, she started doing this, and then she sort of approached me and said, would you consider taking some of this clip art and make resources out of it for teachers? And by that point, I'd had my first baby and I was kind of just living mum life. And I thought, I'll have a little look at it and have a play around. And I fell in love with it because I love creating. I love making things. I've always loved doing that for the kids in my class, which was a detriment in some ways because I'd always be working, always be creating things, all night, all weekend, so on and so forth. So it started out as a hobby and a happy accident, and then it grew into something that was more like a business. So I did go back to school part-time after my second and my second baby. And then when I fell pregnant with my third, I took a bit of a longer maternity leave, and then I didn't go back.
Yeah. It's hard to go back after that. You're like, no, especially once you've got a taste of the freedom. So what point, was there a point, or did it kind of happen slowly that you and Alicia both went, I don't think this is a hobby anymore. Like, let's put I find a lot of business women that I talk to, there's a point where you're like, oh, hang on, like we're adulting here. Like, let's put our big girl pants on and we've got like a serious business.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because it just kind of plodded along and started happening, and then we realized that we were actually making good money.
Yeah.
Better than me in the classroom a couple of days a week. And then and it took all the way to that for us to realize, like, oh wow, this is like an actual business and we need to like feed this and give it the attention and love that it needs. Alicia,
I mean, I still think now sometimes I talk to you and you're like, you don't quite grasp the awesomeness that you have created. You're like, it's no big deal. I'm like, what you've created is insanely awesome.
oh, thank you. We have a OBM that works with us, and she often will say, you girls have to stop thinking that you are teachers, you're business owners.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It is a really different mentality, and it's something that, my previous business was tutoring centres, and that was one of the biggest challenges. Is a teacher mentality is a very particular way of thinking, and you do need to think outside of that. Yeah. So, what has been the evolution of Rainbow Sky?
We have dabbled in so many things. I feel like we've done the whole box and dice when it comes to an online business. So primarily our business is small offers, and we do high volume. So we will sell resources online on a platform called Teachers Pay Teachers, and they'll be worth a couple of dollars, sort of $3 to $5, and we sell lots of them. But then we wanted to go into the idea of a course. So we started with a course for new teachers, and we ended up turning that into a membership. And we also have mini courses too. So we've kind of tried it all. We've actually ended up closing down our membership and turning it back into a course for teachers to do. But it's been a really fun ride because we've been able to explore new things. And every time we start and try something new, you're learning new tools, new ways of doing things, new strategies. So
yeah. Now, I know people don't normally like to talk about the ones that they tried and then it didn't work, so they wound it back. But it is the most helpful thing to other people to hear. So can you expand a little bit on the way that it was formatted as the course to begin with, and then why you went into the membership, and then why you decided like the exact thing of going, hang on, I liked it better as a course, I think it worked better as a course, and why you wound that back?
Yeah, I love talking about this too, because I think we often hear things in the business world like, oh, you should do this, like this is where it's at. And memberships, when we started our membership, we went through the Stu McLaren like challenge, and then we bought his course that he had, which I think is interesting that it's a course, not a membership, but that's a side note. So we thought, oh, this is the way forward. And we realized that it wasn't for what we were giving and what our audience were receiving. So it started off as a course with modules, and it walked people through basically we basically called it like Teaching 101, what university didn't teach you about real life in the classroom, because you do learn a lot at university and it's not really the reality. Like, what do you do if a parent comes in and they're cranky? Or what do you do if you get an email and you've got to reply to that straight away, but you've got a class of 30 kids in front of you? Like, all of those practical things that teachers have to deal with. So we nutted out this course. It actually started off, it's so funny, we actually started off with an ebook that we were selling online on Teachers Pay Teachers, and it was so popular, which is what gave us the idea to make it into a course in the first place. So we kind of thickened that out and made it into a course, and teachers loved it. In saying that, we did launch it in 2020. So it was the very end of 2020.
Everybody bought everything. Yeah.
And then led into 2021. So then teachers were having a really hard time because they weren't going out and doing their practice like they normally would. They weren't getting the support that they felt like they needed. There was lots of distance learning and things happening. Like, it was a very tough time for teachers. So I think that we launched at a really good time as well. I think that had a little bit to play with it. But then Alicia and I were talking, and Alicia really felt that we weren't giving them the ongoing support that they needed. Like, here's a course. We did some live Q&As, but then what? What about the questions that they have throughout the year of their teaching? So that's why we decided to turn it into a membership. And if you think about it in that way, it actually is quite a clever idea. But what we found was that we had to give them monthly deliverables, the course was included in it, but then they weren't really using the course. So we kind of set it up that we would have a monthly theme that had something to do with the course. So we would usher people there, say, watch that masterclass, and then we'd give them other deliverables, but we were overwhelming them because new teachers are completely overwhelmed. And what they don't need is more staff and more commitments. So how do you deliver a membership without staff and commitments? It's a really, really tricky one, besides going in the classroom and holding their hand for them. So we ended up wrapping it up, and it was a tough process because we wanted to stay really true to our integrity in wrapping it up. But we also didn't want it to go away, because we still get messages and things on Instagram from people saying, like, I'm going to be a teacher in a couple of years and I know that you've got this membership or this course. So we repackaged it as a course. It doesn't sell very well now, but it was no skin off our noses to repackage it as a course. All the people that were in the membership, we wrapped them up and we gave them lots of love and lots of extra bonuses. And then now, since wrapping up the membership and saying goodbye to that, our business has actually increased. We're earning more because we're putting more time into things that are actually making us revenue.
This is the thing I was talking to someone about the other day and going, you can get so attached to an offer that you've put so much effort into and so much energy into, and you're like, I can't just kill it. Like, I've put so much into this. But when you can let something go that's not like working as well as what you want it to, you've then got all this energy to put into the things that are going to work, which is so much better. So what does the ecosystem look like now?
So now the main part of our business are the small offers with the high volume. That's the number one, and that's what we focus all of our social media marketing on, our emails. And then we have a series of other small, we call them mini courses, because you could do them over a weekend, and they're not costly like in the business world. So our mini courses are $37 US dollars, and we actually found, this is just a complete side note, that pricing things in US dollars sells better than pricing them in AUD, which is just weird.
What's the percentage of Australian customers?
Well, is it less than 50%?
Okay.
So there is more people from overseas.
Yeah, so it's worth doing US dollars, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it does look cheaper as well to an Australian audience often. But it depends on, like, I know our Australian audience gets real ticked off if they have to pay for things in US. So we have both of those options there, so that people can either sign up in US or they can sign up in Australian. But if you've got less than 50%, it makes total sense to just do US dollars.
Yeah, well, it was actually quite funny. When we had it in AUD, we'd actually get emails from people generally in the US saying, you've undercharged.
Yeah. Or what is AUD? Like, people are like, what is this different currency? Yeah. And so with that, because I know that it's a really different game to play, the high volume, low cost. You've got to do like a lot of transactions in the day. What does your marketing look like to keep those funnels, like to keep that sustainability? Is it all paid advertising? Are you doing organic? Like, what does that look like to get enough of that inflow?
It's actually very interesting. We've got a very, very lean business, which is amazing. We do Facebook ads, and we're dabbling more and more with Facebook ads, but we didn't at the beginning. So that's only a newish sort of thing. We've always had one sort of running for the last couple of years, but now we're sort of amping it up a bit.
Are you doing your own ads, or are you outsourcing those?
We are doing our own. We've got a helper now. Stacey Hughes has come on board to help us, but we've always been doing them ourselves, which is a hard thing because, there's so much to think about with ads and rules and all of the things.
Yes. It just changes all the time.
Yes. I wish things didn't change as much. It'd be nice if they just stayed the same so you got used to it.
Yeah. Well, I read they're just bringing out like a whole AI thing, so soon it's just going to do most of it for you. Inside Meta.
All of this learning.
Yeah. We'll go out the window and we'll have to learn it all again.
Yeah.
So Facebook ads now, but what did you use to get that base when you kind of were unknown?
Our organic social media. That's really where it has really drawn from. So Instagram is our main avenue. We had Facebook too, which we would post on manually, but then we just started shifting it over. And then we've got TikTok as well. So we've got the three social media channels, and Pinterest has also been a really big one for us as
Yeah,
well.
it would be for you. Yeah. Yeah. I forget about Pinterest, and sometimes I'll get notifications that people have repinned things, and I'm like, what even is that? Like, but for you, Pinterest and TikTok is massive for teachers.
Yeah, it's huge. So we still have pins. We got someone who's running it for us now, but we still have pins that go up, new pins every single week, out to our podcast, our resources, our blog.
Yeah, nice. And in terms of community, now that you don't have the membership, but you're just doing all the low-cost courses, I know that you have built a beautiful community and that reputation. So with the absence of membership, what sort of things are you doing to like grow that community sort of vibe?
Our real focus is growing the community on our main platform, which is Instagram. And it's kind of like a lot of teachers say it's weird. Going back when we started this Instagram, and I remember saying to my husband, there's like teachers on there that have 8,000 followers. Like, I could not get over why there would be teachers with so many followers. And it took us forever to get to 1,000. And then we ended up building up from there. But a lot of the teachers on there say it's like a virtual staff room where if you're a teacher, you will understand that you'll go into a teaching staff room, and there's always sort of like a Debbie Downer or a Sally Sad face sitting there bringing everyone else down. And social media, on our side of social media, we don't really have that. There have been moments, but we're really, really lucky with that community, and people really support each other. So we've got lots of messages in our DMs. People email us. People write back to each other's comments, and it's actually a really beautiful thing because we've built that up.
Yeah, I remember when I started taking online courses seriously, and I went to the Kajabi conference in 2019 or 2018, one of those, and saw Casey Morris speak, who was, I think she started on Teachers Pay Teachers.
Yes, she did.
Also, and she was like making millions a year out of really low cost, like these $7, $9 resources. And I was like, wait, what? Yeah. And she had done it through building community with teachers that were looking for other positive teachers in the world.
Yeah, she's actually a really good example because she's like a famous teacher.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that you would never think that would exist. When I first started this business and it became...
There's an influencer in every industry, Ash.
There's an influencer everywhere. That is so true. And she's gone on to do amazing things with her business.
Yeah. So how do you now, because I know that, you have a very different business to me, whereas I run high touch, so it can be a lot of connection. So how do you actually, where is your boundaries when people are paying the small amount for how much contact they can have with you, and how do you dip into these conversations ever, or do you respond to the comments, or how do you keep there for people but also have your boundaries?
That is a really, really good question, because
be hard.
We sell a low ticket, but our audience expect a lot because they're teachers, right? So any mistake, any use the wrong word, they're like, oh no, we're calling you out on that. Yeah. That's not the right thing to do. So as far as messages and things go, because there's two of us, it's really been easy to split things down the middle. So I run our social media, and I do make sure that I'm in our DMs every single day, and I reply back to those messages. It's been so much easier since we've been able to voice note people too. Yeah. Because especially new teachers that come in and they ask questions, I'm able to give them a little voice note. And sometimes people do come in and say, I've got this problem, can you help me? And we do want to serve in that way. Sometimes we'll have people asking if they can have resources and things adjusted. And generally we think, well, if it would serve the greater community, if we've heard about this a couple of times before, or we think that would be helpful for others, we will do it. Or if we've got time. Other times, if we don't, then we'll say no, which isn't amazing. People don't love that. But one of the things that teachers really want is to make everything editable. So we'll have a resource, a game that we've thought of, created, made really beautiful, and then they say, oh, can we edit this? Which requires...
No, don't ruin my beauty.
Don't ruin the prettiness is going to go as soon as you edit it, because you can't have the fonts and things for copyright. So some of our most popular resources one of our most popular ones are Uno games, creating maths games just using Uno cards. And we've created games for kindergarten all the way through to year 6. And it's amazing. They can do so many different things with these Uno cards. So we've created those and made them editable so people in other countries can edit it and translate it into their own language. And that has been really popular. And that's something that people are really appreciative of. So we will help our customers where we can, but there does have to be a line drawn.
Yeah.
And I've probably learnt it the hard way over the years, honestly.
I know, yeah, don't we all? Yes. So what are you seeing working the most on social media at the moment, and how have you seen it change over the last couple of years? Because I know a lot's changed over the last couple of years.
Oh my gosh, so much has changed. I've found that carousels have been working so well.
Yeah.
And I think one of the reasons why, and I hope this is still the case and it doesn't go away, but when you post a carousel, it'll show people, your audience, the first slide, and then it will re-deliver to them with your second slide. So doing 2 hooks to begin with and then going into your content, it'll just get it so many more views. So we found carousels have been a really great way to really reach our audience, but also not discarding our reels. And one of the things that I love to do is just repurposing over and over again. And if you've got a product out there, like you are serving a product, then I would not stop at just delivering that reel once. I save them all onto our computer, and then teaching's very easy because it goes in a cycle. So we work in seasons all the way around the year, and then everything comes back around again. Like Book Week's going to come next year, back to school, so on and so forth. So we can just reuse the same things, and we can go back and have a look. Okay, that one didn't go very well. We'll either give it another go with a different caption, or if it went really well, we'll just steal our own caption and repost it. So reposting, I think, is one of my superpowers when it comes to social media, and people don't notice, and they need to see things over and over again anyway.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And you haven't mentioned your podcast either. And
oh my gosh, yes, we've got a podcast.
Yeah. Because I know that would be one of your, like, that and social media would be your main feeders, right, into the business?
Yes, definitely. So our podcast, we're actually just about to next week celebrate 100 episodes.
Yay! Congratulations.
And just in time for my mic to break, I was like, obviously 100 episodes is all it could handle.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, so we've got that. And I think that that's been a really great way for everyone to get to know us a little bit more and how we kind of vibe together, because Alicia and I are very, very different humans. Like, we actually find it quite amazing that we connected and are such good friends because we are so different. So
often that works though.
Yeah. Well, I think it's been amazing because the parts of her that I want to be more like has rubbed off, and vice versa. And we bring different things to the table, and you don't want to bring the same thing as each other. Like, it's always agreeable when you're the same as somebody, but that doesn't necessarily make the best business.
Yeah, totally. And so with your podcast, because again, you're just like, yeah, we have a podcast. You've got one of the top podcasts. How many downloads do you get, Ash?
Weekly?
Yeah.
We get about between 6,000 and 7,000 a week.
Right. For the people listening, they're just like, wait, what? Yes, between 6,000 and 7,000. The average podcast gets 172 a week.
Does it? I did not know that.
Yes. And so every time you talk about your podcast and your numbers, I'm like, whoa, go Ash. Like, that's amazing. Is there, like, do you put it down to there's so many teachers in the world? Do you put it down to your sparkly personality? Like, what do you think has been the secret to getting your podcast so high up in the charts?
I think the honest truth is that we do have a large social media following now. So we already started out with a large base. And I think that does help when you're already starting out with a large base and people are like, oh, hang on a second, I'd like to explore that, or I'd like to listen to that, especially the teachers that are experienced and they weren't able to join our membership because they weren't new teachers and they still wanted that connection point. So originally the podcast we were still running the membership, and we made it was called Rainbow Skies for New Teachers. But we rebranded it when we decided to get rid of the membership. We took out the new, so it's just called Rainbow Skies for Teachers. And we get lots of emails and messages from teachers saying that they enjoy it, even if they've been teaching for a really long time. And I think it goes back to that point where I think teachers are sick of hearing the negativity. it can be a really hard job. It's a hard job. It's great, but it's hard. And sometimes it's nice just to listen to somebody who's passionate about it and listen to the good part.
Get that re-energization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably has really helped it too.
You're always good for that. Yeah. So for you, like, what mindset shifts have you had to take going from teacher to business owner?
Oh my gosh, so many. Money mindset, major. Yeah. Because
teachers, in terms of worrying, like, because I know teaching by nature is one of the most stable forms of employment. So do you mean like that, like the instability of business?
The instability, but also like the worth. What am I worth?
Yeah.
Because teachers, if you looked at their hourly rate, it would be very low.
Yeah.
Depending on how many hours you work, right? Yeah, so there are teachers that go in and work, 9 to 3 and that's it. But if you're not that teacher, if you're the teacher that's working overtime and doing all the extra things and making all the things, then you are working a lot of hours. So I think that has really helped us. That work ethic has really helped us. But with our money mindset, what are we worth? What's our time worth? And teaching our audience that our time is worth something, because it doesn't happen very much anymore, but it used to a lot where teachers would say, but this should be free. Like, you should be giving this to us for free.
Why?
Because teachers feel like they deserve that. Like, if you've made that, why shouldn't you just share it?
Yeah, it does have a big share economy, actually. Yeah. Yeah, that expectation. Yeah.
So I think that's been a really big one for me. But also just the mindset of more is not better has been a big one. Another thing that we've brought from teaching is that you just do more and more and more and more and more. And in business, that's how we started out and that's how we got successful. We just made more and more and more resources, right? So we've got hundreds of them now and then they sell on autopilot. But we've learned just to pull back in this last year. We've really started to focus on funnels and reorganizing everything in the back end of the business, which is why Heb has been so good in reorganizing and just keeping everything in line with systems and SOPs, things that I never even knew existed before.
The profitability is in the boring parts.
Yes, and I always have Tina in my background going, a boring business is a profitable business. So every time when I'm doing those boring tasks, I just remember that. And I also remember I can go to the toilet whenever I want because I'm not in the classroom.
I mean, that's a positive, right? Yes, that is a massive positive. So what are some of the biggest challenges that you've come through? Because you've been doing, how many years have you been going now?
Close to 9 years.
Yeah. So you would have come up against some big challenges along the way. What have been some of the big pivotal ones and how have you moved through them?
Probably the biggest challenge is us both having our families because we started and I was at home with my little ones and Alicia was still in the classroom teaching and then she had a family. So it wasn't just me juggling then, it was her juggling the family and family life. That was tricky for a little while there. And I think that we've just learnt to grow and trust each other and make sure that, family comes first and our business comes second. And I know lots of people say, your business is your baby, but for us, our babies are our babies. And
yes, 100%.
Yeah. We could be in the classroom with other people's kids, but we're not. We get to stay at home with our own kids. And for us, it's really, really important that we are able to be present with them, go to all of their school bits and pieces, let them have days off without stressing out when they're sick. So we've really grown together in that way. And as far as other challenges go, we've been really lucky in that we've had a few little techie challenges that we've had to experience along the way. We had a terrible web developer and it's taken us years to get our website back up and running, but we've got it back up and running. And I think that in teaching, we talk about a growth mindset so much. And I think that business is all about having a growth mindset too. If you're not there, you're just not there yet. And you can slowly get there. And it might be frustrating at times, but that's part of the learning process.
There's the promo clip for the podcast. Get it, Ash? Yes, louder for the back. I love that. So you brought up the kids and I totally agree. I know that so many people go into business because they want freedom and flexibility, but they end up, we forget that we can still take that. Like, it's the allure of, because nobody is ever telling you, there's no school bell going at the end of the day. Like, there's no knock-off time. And so it can be really tempting to just do that more and more and more. So I love that you've kept that as like your North Star focus. But you have 3 little people. How do you, like, do you have practical tips you can share with people on how you balance that creative energy and the business strategy and the family life? Like, do you time block these things, or do you just see how the days unfold? How does it work for you?
It has gotten easier as my kids have gotten older. So they're all in primary school now. This is the first year where the 3 are at school. So we had a process where we were at home in COVID and they were babies. And that was so hard because my husband still went to work. But what I used to do when they were little is I used to time block their nap time. So I would make sure, I'd set my whole day up around it. So we'd make sure that we went out in the morning so everyone was tired. I took plenty of snacks so everyone was full. And then we would come back and we'd make sure that everyone had that quiet time. And they were really good. Generally they would. And I would always have in my mind what I was going to sit down and smash out at that time. And then usually after they went to bed, I would get back into a little bit of work because that was enjoyable for me. I just wanted to get out my ideas and be creative. And back then we were doing lots of creative parts of the business. We were making lots and lots of resources. So it wasn't like taxing in that we were doing like the books and writing long emails and things. It was more creative work. But then as they've gotten older, I've tried to teach them that I have a job, even though it doesn't look like it. And it certainly doesn't look like it from the outside world. And it doesn't look like it to my family and other people that are around. But I've tried to...
the amount of times I have extended family say to me, like, what do you actually do? Like, what do you do all day? Yeah, it's hard to explain.
Yeah, it is hard to explain. But I know what you do. Because
we know.
But I suppose that maybe need to invite them in.
Yeah. It's so conceptual to other people if you're not in the industry that there are plenty of people selling and buying ideas.
Yes. Yeah. That is so true. Yeah.
When we first started,
my dad said to me, "You'll never make any money out of that." So I'm always saying to him, "Dad, have a look at this."
Yeah, suck it, Dad.
So back to the kids. So I really try and keep my work week where I can. It does bleed out every now and then, and it depends on what's happening in the week. Like if we've got extra interruptions and things that have happened, like one of my little ones sprained her leg this week. So she's been off 2 days, but I only work 3 days a week. So I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the school hours, and then I go and pick them up. And all I generally have to do in the afternoons after I pick them up is post social media that I may have already got the idea or got it all ready to go. So they're very used to sort of 5 o'clock, oh, mum's got to post something on social media. They're very used to like being quiet if I'm making a story. But we try and work together, and they understand that I've got to do this for my work and I enjoy it, and that's okay. That's a good thing. But I also try and make sure that I'm not, working at the computer when they're around.
I mean, what an incredible balance that you can make more than you can as a teacher working 3 days a week in school hours. Like, that's just dreamy McDreamy.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's so good. And I can say, like, now that my kids are, oh my God, Kai's nearly 18, like, just getting old, they have all, like, they've never known me not to have a business, and we've always done it that way in terms of like we're a team together and we're going to do this thing next. And like they've always come along. We don't anymore because their lives are too busy, but we used to always have Sunday family meetings where we'd talk about the week ahead and what the commitments were, and we'd look at the bank account, how much money we've got and what were the expenses and all of these different things. And they always felt very part of it, which I think is so helpful, especially being a mum in business, because they never begrudged me. Like, people would ask me all the time, do you feel guilty about work? I'm like, my kids never guilted me, and I never felt like that because we were just kind of doing it together.
Yeah. And I think the other option is that you're gone.
Yeah.
You're out at work. And that's fine. Like, my husband's out at work, but my kids see that. He works 6 days a week, so they see that. They're like, Dad's not around as much.
Yeah.
You are. So when I ask them, I often will use their hands and things for photos because their little hands are so cute and it's perfect for our resources. They're really happy to help.
Yeah, that's so cute. That's so cute. So you and Alicia have been part of Her Empire Builder for over a year now. What has been the biggest things that you have learned?
Oh, there's been so many things, but I said to you not long ago that AI has been a weight of gold in Her Empire Builder. I think you actually only introduced it after we joined after a couple of months.
Yeah, I think it was about October, November 24 that we started the monthly AI sessions.
Yeah. And they are amazing. Like, I come to all the sessions because I think it's great just to keep your mind open. And even if you're not ready to learn something, it keeps it in the back of your mind for when you are ready and you remember, oh, I should go back to that, or I remember this little bit of nugget here. But the AI has been incredible because it's such a big part of our lives. And using it efficiently can really help you. And as I just said, I only work 3 days a week, and Alicia's the same. She only works, we try and keep it to under sort of 15 to 20 hours. And so AI has really helped us be able to produce more, better. We're tired mums, you know. I wish that I had it when I was really tired with kids that weren't sleeping through the night. Because, you know, when you're like, I want to say this, but just the words aren't coming out. But
imagine if you had AI capabilities, but the knowledge that we have in our 40s and the energy we had when we were 20 and the naivety we had then. Like, is there a way to manufacture that? That's just amazing.
Probably will find a way, I'm sure.
We'll find a way. Yeah. I think that all the time.
Yeah, so the AI has been amazing, but everything else in Her has been so good too. Everyone always says, you buy a membership, you know, for all of the information, but you stay for the community, and I never really believed that, is the honest. I've been in other communities before. I haven't stayed, but your community is different.
Yeah,
it's actually amazing. I was out at coffee with another member on Monday, then we're doing something together on Saturday, and then I'm meeting another member next week. So it's
all these things going on that I don't know about.
I know.
That's so cool.
I know. I don't want to say their names on the podcast just in case. I'll tell you after. But it's been amazing because everyone is there to support each other.
Yeah.
And I think that you have drawn in a certain sort of person that is really supportive and willing to listen and willing to help each other and lift each other up. And just recently we had the retreat, and everyone was there thinking like, how could I support you? Yeah. Oh, have you tried this? This could really work for you. Have you heard of this person? I think you'd love to connect with that person. And I've really loved that.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I only just like an hour before we got on this interview signed the contract for Fiji next year.
Oh, so
I'm very excited. I'm like, yes, we got it. We're going to Fiji, which is so good. So that will be fun. We can get our not aloha on. That's Hawaii, Tina. What's our lomi? We'll get that on. Our bulla. Yeah, that's what we'll get on. Ash, you're incredible. You should be so proud of what you have created. I know from us when we were 18 at uni together, sitting there all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, I'm proud of us, of what we've done with our knowledge and our lives. Like, it's good. It's good. Go us.
Yeah, go us. I know, it's amazing. Yeah. And I love women working together to lift women up. It's incredible.
That's it. And if anyone's listening and want to join us inside Her Empire Builder, we're on launch week. So go to herempirebuilder.com and you can join Ash and me and all of the fabulous humans that we have inside. We've linked to all of Ash's stuff in the show notes. I think it's worth checking out her social media and her podcast, even if you're not a teacher, because it is phenomenal and will give you really great marketing ideas in there too, because you underplay your brilliance a lot, Ash, but we'll work on that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ash.